Hi, my name's Andy, and today on behalf of Parkinson's Care and Support UK, I'm going to take you through a chair-based exercise routine which will last about 35 minutes. We'll do some cardiovascular activity and we'll get your heart rate elevated slightly. We'll do some respiratory work so that you'll be breathing a little bit faster, and we'll do some strength activities with some stretching at the end of the session. Sitting forward in the first half or third of your chair, I want you to drop your shoulders back and bring your hands down by your sides, and we're lifting and lowering. So it's really important that we stay as active as we can possibly be, particularly at a time where a lot of you will be self-isolating and trying to practice social distancing. It's really important that we can exercise our bodies effectively at home. And so today what I'll be doing is working with a resistance band for our strength activities, and those are widely available at about £5 or £6 per band and can be bought very easily via the internet. So for Parkinson's patients, it's really important that you work to maintain your strength in your muscles. You work on coordination, and you can do that quite easily through these workouts that I create for you. Lifting and lowering the shoulders. Let's now roll the shoulders round in circles. The idea of this activity is that many of us spend time sat perhaps in a desk-based position. Many of us are reading newspapers, books, or the dreaded smart screens. And that means for a lot of our lives we spend time with our arms stretched out in front of us, causing our shoulders to roll and drop forward. And in this movement we're looking at rolling the shoulders backwards, opening up the front of the shoulder capsule and just beginning to very gently stretch the front of the chest. Moving from here, the next thing I'm going to do is raise my heels, literally on one side and then the other, lifting one side and the other. And as we do that, we're elevating the heel, which causes the calf in the lower portion of the leg to contract. And all the way through, I'm reminding myself to sit up nice and tall with my back away from the chair and getting these tummy muscles to work. When we think about the importance of the tummy muscles, we should acknowledge that pretty much every part of the body is connected to the core, the very centre of our body. So anything we can do to strengthen this part of the body will transfer into the limbs, the arms and the legs. Lifting one heel and then the other. Moving on from here, I like to do an exercise called hot spot. So the first thing I'm going to do is bracing my tummy muscles, pulling my belly button in nice and tight, pulling all of these tummy muscles in towards my spine. I'm going to lift this left leg from the ground. I'm going to come down with my heel first. I'm going to lift again and then down through the toe. So let's do 4 more on this side. Heel and toe. Number 3 coming up, heel and toe, heel and toe. Let's swap to the other side, heel and toe, heel and toe. Now you may find that this is a challenge whilst sitting upright in your chair. 2 more this side. So things to watch for are a lateral movement. So if this is happening, we need to think slightly differently. Sometimes if I lift this leg, I'm going to roll that way. If that's happening, in order to create the movement, we need to come back to the core centering and make the movement smaller. Heel, toe, heel, toe. That would be a good regression. Okay. If you find that easy, the movement can come bigger. Heel and toe, heel and toe. Okay, let's go back to heel lifting, and we're going to comb our hair over the top and down the back. Really good way for us to mobilise the shoulders. Well done. And you'll notice the arms get tired quite quickly with this one. For the most part, that's because we're having to reach above the height of our head. Heels and toes lifting at the same time, and here is our coordination element. So I've got the bottom half and the top half of the body working together. Well done, guys. If you get tired, make your movements smaller or slower. If going over the top of your head is difficult, come round the ear. So we can make those exercises smaller if we want to. Excellent. Keep going. Sitting up nice and tall. Keep going back and reminding yourself to sit up tall. Very easily, if we don't think about this, we find ourselves in our slumps position. Sitting up tall, shoulders back. Back to the combing of hair. Excellent. Keep going, guys. No smiling. It's a serious business, this exercise. Excellent. Keep going. Heel, toe, arms working together. Excellent. Okay, let's take this on to a jogger's march. So arms and legs working again, more coordination. I'm being very unkind to you guys today. Remember, if you need to take breaks, there's no rush. You can come back to these exercises and do a bit more when you feel more able, or just do them a bit more slowly, but always an eye on safety and working at your own intensity. Well done. Keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Moving on to box step. I go out on one side, out, back and back, out, back and back. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. With this one, make sure that your feet remain in front of the chair. We don't want you tucking your feet underneath the chair itself. That can cause issues with the knees, hips and lower back. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Challenge the brain and swap the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, challenging that coordination. Leading on the left side, leading on the right side, leading on left, leading on right. Well done. I'm challenging that brain today. Sitting up nice and tall. One side, then the other. One side, then the other. And then we add the arms in as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swap 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alternates. Having to concentrate now. Well done, guys. Keep going. 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Excellent. Just have a little wriggle and jiggle now. Loosen up some of that tension. Okay, the next part of our exercise is going to be to move on and do some strength, and as you can see, I've got my trusty yellow band here. This is a light band, okay. I bought it in, that's probably 2 meters long, and the beauty of this, if you want to get something that's really usable, is I can fold the band in half and make it that little bit harder to work with. So a light band, this is not extra light, they do come in very, very light resistance for rehabilitation. Choose a band that's suitable for you. I would suggest that for most people a light band would be a good place to start, and perhaps fold it in half. So the first strength exercise I'm going to do is for my leg. I'm going to take that band underneath one foot, I'm going to come up and in, out and down, up and in, up and in, out and down, up and in. Well done. Again, I'm sitting up nice and tall. Muscles working here are the front upper thigh. Very big, very strong muscles, and indeed they always need to maintain strength. They are vital for getting into and out of chairs, on and off of bus seats, in and out of the car, climbing stairs, lifting things from the ground. Very, very important muscles. And the same is true with every muscle. If it's not used, it gets lost. So the idea is use the muscle or lose the muscle. And it's worth bearing in mind that certainly as we age, in our between our 60th and 70th birthday, we will lose about 10% of muscle mass over those 10 years. And the way in which to reduce that loss of muscle mass caused by age, which is also known as sarcopenia, is to use the muscles much the same as we are today. Okay, let's go over to the other side. Under the foot again. Now some of you may struggle with the grip on these exercises, holding on to the band. The way I'm doing it is thumbs up. Certainly find a way that is comfortable for you. Maybe it needs to be knuckles away for you guys. Whatever is suitable for you as an individual. And the other thing to bear in mind is that we can in fact buy handles which attach to these bands, and that might be useful for you. Both are going to help with the strength of our grip. Up and in, out and down, and reverse that movement. So these thigh muscles are particularly working with this one. And I would indeed encourage you, if you come back to these videos, that I may be doing 10 or 12 of these exercises. If you find that difficult, please do 4 or 5, whatever you're able to do, and over time, gently and carefully progress so that you're doing a little bit more. So you may start with 4 or 6 of these and build over time. Every couple of weeks we could be progressing by another 1 or 2 repetitions. Reps are simply, or repetitions, are simply the number of times I'm going to do this. So this may be my 8th or 9th rep, and this is my 10th. Okay, from here, let's move to our next exercise. And indeed, I'm going to take the band around the back of the chair to do this, and I'm going to lengthen the band, and you'll see why in a moment. So you can pop the band around the back of the chair as your anchor. You can also pop it around your own back, provided that's comfortable. Do whatever is easiest for you. Okay, so this time we're going to do a chest fly. Chest fly looks like this. Thumbs up to the ceiling, knuckles up as well, and I'm going to come across with my hands. Keep the elbows bent, squeeze back, stretch through the chest. Sitting up again nice and tall. And it's these front chest muscles predominantly that are working with some shoulder strength required, and also our tricep. Tricep is the back of the arm. It allows these pushing movements. Breathing normally throughout, please. Be sure not to hold your breath, just breathe as you do normally. Arms are coming out at shoulder height, small cross between the two, and you'll notice this time it's my left hand comes to the top. Next time I do it, it will be right, left, and right. Feel like a bit of an army sergeant major. Left and right. Done. Good. Last time on the right side, right hand coming to the top, and we'll move on. So that's our chest fly. It works predominantly these muscles here. The next one that we're going to do is what I call pulling the bow. So I'm going to take one hand out in front of me at shoulder height. I then take the other one, thumb up, pointing up towards the ceiling but tucked in, and I pull backwards. I feel a bit like Robin Hood when I do this. I'm sure Robin Hood had more hair than me. Now that for me is a little bit light, so I'm going to fold the band in half. I'm going to draw that shoulder back, keeping this one out in front. Let's do that from the side so you guys can see. Sitting up nice and tall, feet flat on the ground, toes pointing forward, hand out in front, draw back and relax. Draw back and relax. Please do keep a good grip on your bands because they absolutely do ping. Right, if I'm to drop that band now, it is potentially going to be quite sore. Pull back and relax. Okay, let's go over to the other side. This time I've got my right hand coming up, sitting away from the back of the chair. If any of you are archery fans, this would be a really helpful exercise. It does require a lot of strength from experience. I did some archery a few years ago. That's probably being kind. I made a terrible hash of it, but it was good fun. Pulling back, tuck the elbow in. Well done. Breathing as normal. And I'm sure with this one, when you do it, you'll really find that need to stabilise through the tummy muscles so that we don't end up in this kind of rotational plane. So I'll just show you what that might look like. And we're actually trying to avoid this. Okay, so we don't want that trunk to rotate round to the side. We want to keep everything nice and tight. And last one coming up. Excellent. So I call that pull the bow is what I call that exercise. Okay. Let's now go back to some more cardio activity. If you want to repeat those strength exercises, please do. You can repeat them up to 3 times. Would probably be a good challenge. But start wherever you are and progress forward from there every week, every couple of weeks as you feel able. So the next thing I'm going to do is come back to a little bit of cardio activity. We'll go back to our box step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out, out, in, out, out, in and in. So this workout is 35 minutes long. You could easily make a 45-minute workout by doing those strength exercises twice over. And if you're feeling really brave from there, do them a third time. Rep range, repetitions, number of times to do each movement is really down to your own ability. But do challenge and ask a little bit more of yourself when you feel able. By the same token, if you're particularly tired one day, then do some, and maybe even just take the first part of this exercise routine and do that bit, and come back to it, build up over time. So we are box stepping, coordination challenged, core muscles working. Excellent job. And you might just start to be slightly out of breath with this. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And there's no reason now why we couldn't look at a slightly different movement for the arms. So let's see if we can pull this off, Andy. Go back to just feet for a moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Raising up above the head. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we could go for a bit of both. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the original one. So it's just adding little combinations of exercises together, keeping the complexity, keeping the interest, keeping the brain challenged, and who knows, maybe even smiling. Certainly put on a bit of music in the background if that helps you along. It's not necessary to work to music, but if it helps you get through the workouts, by all means do that. Okay, let's have a little wriggle and jiggle. Wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is an adapted version of marching. Again, will require a little bit more coordination than the straightforward march. So, straightforward marching like this. So we might just call this a 1-2 march, and then I'm going to take that on to 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So it's a little bit more coordinated, a little bit more choreographed. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Swap sides. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Remember, sitting up nice and tall. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, moving on from there, let's go for a swim. Okay, so straightforward swimming, heels lifting if you will. And we could add some grip into this, so stretch the fingertips out, close the hands, pull back, stretch, close, pull back. A bit like we're pulling something towards us, maybe the water that you're pulling towards yourself. Well done, keep going, lifting the heels. Good job. Excellent, keep working for me. Lovely job. And from here we could change our stroke very slightly, a form of breaststroke, push hands forward, come out into circles, heels still lifting. Excellent job. Again, smaller version of that might be just to the sides, or really stretching out. Completely up to you. Work at your own level, guys. Excellent. And then we'll take up a form of hand cycling. We'll go backwards. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. And we'll go forwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Have a little wriggle. Okay, let's go back to our box step. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3. I also teach boxercise. I find it very helpful to number the strikes and repeat the numbers of the strikes as I move. Left, right, right. Well done. Keep going, sitting up nice and tall. Remember, lengthen that core. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 2, 3 and 4. Swap. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3 and 4. Swap again. Well done, keep it going. Swap. Swap again. So we just add a little bit of interest. Swap. And again. So sometimes I'm choosing to lead on my left side, sometimes on my right. Challenging that brain. Well done. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 on the march now. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This might be reminiscent of the cha-cha-cha. As you can tell, I have very little experience of dance, but it is a good way for us to occupy ourselves and burn some energy. If that's what you enjoy doing, please do more of it, particularly if we can do it with our favourite bit of music on in the background. Then that's a great form of exercise. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Okay, back to swimming then, coming over the top. Notice I'm working very slightly quicker now. And again, we can add the grip in. Hand open, close and pull back. Open, close, pull back. Open, close, pull back. Tummy muscles working to support us, keeping us sat up straight, away from the back of the chair. Well done, guys. Keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Swimming breaststroke now. Good job. Keep it coming. And moving on from here, hand cycle forward. Try and keep the neck and the shoulders relaxed. Backward. Looks a bit like the okey cokey, doesn't it? Forward. And backwards. Lovely job. Okay, let's move on to our stretching now. So we've done quite a lot of work with the shoulders and the deltoid. I'm going to take my arm across my body, wrist to wrist, pulling in nice and tight. In my case, I'm stretching my right arm, so I'm going to look across my right shoulder to the wall opposite. And that gives me a lovely stretch down the back of this arm. From here we swap to the other side, arm out, put it across the chest, one wrist meets the other, putting it nice and tight, looking to the left side this time. Lovely, little wriggle. Tricep stretch now. If we're able to come up right into the middle of the back, take one hand across the top and lift the chest. So some of you may struggle with shoulder mobility for this one. The revised version would be take the hand onto the shoulder and lift the elbow. If you're able to come right over the top and do it that way, please do. If not, it's hand onto shoulder, lift the elbow. Whichever one works for you. Over to the other side. So this is the full stretch, lifting the chest. I'm stretching the back of this arm here. Stretches can be held for up to 30 seconds at a time if you want to. Again, build up, progress your tolerance so that becomes more bearable for the body. The body can adapt to that stimulus. Okay, the alternative, hand onto shoulder, lifting the elbow. Okay, from here, hands onto the back of the chair, leaning forward. And looking at the space in front of my feet, maybe 8-10 inches in front of me, perhaps 12 even, and I'm looking forward and down, keeping my neck in line with the rest of my spine to give me a stretch across these chest muscles. Squeezing my shoulder blades back, great stretch for posture this one, particularly if you have spent a lot of time reading, time on computers, or even if you've spent time driving. This is a good way to stretch the chest muscles. And moving on from here, we're going to roll down through the spine. I'll do that from the side so that you can see most effectively. Chin comes onto the chest, rolling down, allowing the spine to round. You can see here, sitting with a straight back, very much straight. We're looking to do the opposite of that, curling the spine forward and down. And chin onto the chest, dropping down, rolling through the spine, allowing the back to arch, tucking the head in. Don't stay in this position for too long. Walk your hands back up your legs, up your thighs, towards your hip bones. Let's do that again. Chin onto the chest, rolling down through each of the vertebrae in the spine. Each vertebrae can move independently, curling chin onto chest, rolling down, tucking the head in, almost into a ball really. Hands down if you want to. Walk the hands back up, the shins up to knees, back to hip bones, drop your shoulders back and down, and again have a little wriggle for me. Okay, so finishing, we'll do the hamstring stretch. One leg comes out in front, both hands onto this bent knee, and I'm leaning forward and down, looking at my toes and keeping my back nice and straight. I feel that stretch from the back of my knee up towards my bum. And if you work to lift your toe a little bit higher toward the ceiling, then we get more stretch into the calf here, the lower portion at the back of the leg. Swapping to the other side. Straighten the leg, keep the knee very slightly soft so that we don't upset the ligaments and tendons. Point the toe up to the ceiling, keep the back straight. You're hinging from the hip with this one. Let's show you sideways. straighten the leg, nice straight back coming down, both hands onto the bent knee in this case, looking at the tip of my toes, trying to keep my back straight, and I get the stretch from here up towards my glute. That's my hamstring muscle. Okay, so that's our exercise session finished for today. Please do join me again and work on keeping your strength, keeping your mobility, and enjoying that process of exercise. My name's Andy, teaching on behalf of Parkinson's Care and Support UK. Please stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you soon.